What's up, everybody? This is Stephen J. On my way to work. It's 6:40 in the morning. I'm on my way to work. I just wanted to address the number one story in the world right now, and that's Clippers owner Donald Sterling. The story broke Saturday morning. Matter of fact, I didn't know anything about it because it was actually a friend of mine had posted it on Facebook, and it was actually one of those hip-hop sites that he posted it from. So, I clicked on it and read it, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Because, I don't believe, like, World Star Hip-Hop or Media Takeout when they come out with crap like that. So, I went to CNN first. Nothing on CNN. Went to ESPN. Nothing on ESPN. Went to Bleachers Report. Nothing on Bleachers Report. Went to Huffington Post. Nothing on Huffington Post about it. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. So then I saw someone say it's on TMZ. So I went to TMZ and I listened to it. And even TMZ, it's kind of media takeout-ish with, their alleged stuff or whatever. But, and, I was watching the game yesterday, the Clippers game versus the Warriors, and while I was at work. And, they were talking about it. And I was watching the Rockets-Portland game last night, and was watching Inside the NBA and what they were talking about. And, here's the thing. Everyone is still saying allegedly. They asked the Clippers, Donald Sterling's wife, well, is that your husband on the tape? And she said, I don't know. Well, they've been married for 50 years. You really ought to know if that's your husband or not. And his girlfriend. And, I know the Clippers released a statement and said that, she's being sued by the family to basically try to, tarnish her. And to me, that's just a lowball tactic. The fact is, she's being sued by Donald Sterling's wife because Donald Sterling gave her money, and the wife is suing. It's like, hey, you can't give her that money because that's community property. We may be separated, but you can't give her that. So, everyone is still saying that allegedly Donald Sterling, is that him or whatever. And this is what popped into my head. If it wasn't him, then Doc Rivers and all the Clippers players would be allegedly mad about it. But as you've seen, they aren't allegedly mad. They are pissed off about it. They are ticked off about it because if you've been with a franchise, especially I think Blake Griffin is the one that's been there the longest out of all the current players. And I'm sure he's had several conversations with the owner. And being as though they show pictures of him and the girl at the game, I'm sure you probably had conversations with her. Like, hey, how you doing? All right, yada, whatever. And the fact that everyone, former player, has said, yeah, I heard the rumors that he was. Baron Davis has come out and said that he actually said it before. And Elgin Baylor sued, and he said he was, and then he was sued for not allowing black people and Hispanics to rent in his apartments in LA. And he had to pay $2.7 million a fine for that. But again, my point is, Doc Rivers and his players aren't allegedly mad because they think or not sure it's the owner. They are sure that it's the owner, and they know that it's the owner, so they are ticked off about it. Because if you've had a conversation with, yeah, that's him. That's the bottom line. That's why they're all upset, because, yeah, it's him. He said it. I listened to the tape, both of them actually, and I don't hear any breaks. As an audio engineer, I haven't heard any breaks in the tape. It's just there's silent parts in there, but no breaks. When there's a break in the tape, you can actually tell. But that's it. But my biggest concern is the talk about racism and all that. Here's the deal. 41 years old. And I saw somewhere online, people always say black people playing the race card and stuff like that. Here's the deal. I grew up, didn't know anything about racism, but until I saw a white man calling my mother the N-word to her face. Not because my mom was being a jerk, not because my mom was being disrespectful, not because my mom whatever, but just because she was black. And as a kid, I experienced it. I've seen the racism towards me grow as I got older. Didn't do anything. That's the one thing my mother taught me, was that my mother put fear in me that you don't do certain things because white people will look at it wrong because they don't understand, and they may think this, that, and the other. So she put that in there because she didn't want us to go out and do this and act this way and be misperceived, give people a misperception of who we are. So I grew up in school. I've seen how teachers acted towards me versus white kids. I've seen the reverse racism, how black people treat white people. I was in high school, and we had a substitute librarian when I worked in a library. And the way she treated white people, and she told me, when black people got that cold or whatever, and she was like, I ain't giving those white devils nothing. And I was like, huh? And she was like, do this and do that. She was telling me to do this and I should be like that towards them. And I was like, nah, that's wrong. And I told her that. I said, that's wrong. And she was like, oh, so you love them, huh? I was like, I don't love anybody. I just love right versus over wrong. It was wrong. And so she was like, oh, well, you one of those black people, whatever. And it's not about, my mother raised me right to the point to not hate anyone based off of the color of their skin. It's, again, Dr. King said it right when he says it's about the content of the person's character, not their skin color. And again, I've experienced racism on both sides from white people. So am I prone to always look at things in a racial way? Yes, I'm going to say that I am, because when you've experienced it, and even as a child, I thought about, well, why do they hate me? I didn't do anything to them. Why? And even as a grown man, I still say, I don't quite understand it. If you're a jerk, be a jerk. Let me dislike you because you are a jerk. Let me dislike you because, for whatever. But to just dislike you simply because of your skin color, that's just on a whole different level of bullcrap, non-making sense. It still doesn't make sense to me. Hate, I guess, is just hate. But to hate someone simply because of their skin color and have that mentality that, oh my God, it's just, I'm sorry, but something's wrong with that. Something is definitely wrong with that. So again, my point is that, I've seen racism. I've experienced it. Even as I got older, I was working at AIG in Wilmington, Delaware, and I would dress up Monday through Friday, shirt and tie. Because when I went on the Market Street Mall on my lunch, whenever I had, on casual Fridays, I'll say, and I walked into any establishment, want to go shopping, the people looked at you different. They followed you and stuff like that. White people as well as the Asians and stuff like that. Yeah, because, I guess black people steal or whatever. Some do, not all. Don't say black people. But, some stole and they associated one black person with all black people. I watched how I would be treated. I walk up on a person or walk down the street and the person, they get in their car, you hear the doors locking. You walk in the store and you see how you're treated and the looks, and you're prone to that because that's just how you were treated. So you're conditioned to look at those certain things. And then so what I decided to do was, I'm going to wear a suit even on casual Fridays. And I noticed that when I wore a suit, Some people did not lock their doors. Some people did not glare that eye. Oh, well, he's an upstanding person or whatever. But it was totally different when I had a suit on versus when I dressed down, even wore khakis or when I had on jeans. If I had on jeans or khakis, it was one way, but I had a suit and tie on, I was treated different. And, you know, it is what it is. But even in 2014, I can't stand racism because of what I experienced. And I don't think anyone should have to go through and experience something like I did. I mean, you bring that to your kids, and you teach that to your kids. My own boys have experienced it to a certain degree. And in 2014, that's just something that no one should actually have to experience. Like, you're, what's the word? Less than a person. Less than another person. That you're lower. That the other person is better than you. No one should have to experience that or go through that. So, I mean, my thing is, everyone is still saying allegedly. Again, I put it like this. Like I said in the beginning. They ain't allegedly mad. They've been around this owner. They know what he sounds like. They've been around that girl, his girlfriend. They know what she sounds like. So they're not allegedly mad. They're mad because, wow, this dude, all this time, he feels this way. And, you know, the NBA should come down hard on him like they came down on Marshot. Marshot was bold with hers. When she sent the emails and she said all that other stuff, she was bold with hers. This guy was he was under the closet. He was in the closet with his. But, you know, how it came out in a court of law, you can argue whatever that. Yeah, the NBA needs to come down hard on it because this is unacceptable when you got a predominantly African-American league. So, I mean, I wrote a poem called Rise Above the Hate. When Trayvon Martin was killed, CNN and all the other stations, they said, we got to have this conversation. We need to talk about this. When Barack Obama got elected, it was like, we need to talk about this because even when he got elected, racism just rose, I thought. When that other boy got shot by the cops here in Florida, we said we got to talk about it. The kids in Mississippi, the conversation was, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Every time there's a national issue where racism is a part of it, whatever, we always say we got to have this conversation. We need to have a conversation. We need to talk about it. When are we going to stop talking about it? And when are we going to start doing something about it? And I still say love is the key, man. We teach our kids to love one another based off of character and forgive, because that's what Jesus taught. You know, then this world will be a better place. I know what the Word of God says, that in the end times, perilous times and stuff like that. I definitely do know that. But my bishop Nathaniel was always said, we can do it better together. And I still reiterate those sentiments, that we can do it better together. So, you know, I got to get in here and go to work in 5 minutes. I'm at work now. So I will holler at you. Peace out. Remember, love is the key. Love over racism any day. Peace out. Rise above the hate. Stephen J. Check it out on YouTube. Bye.